Hello Eurovision fans, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kristen, I'm your Eurovision auntie, and today we are going all the way back to 2006 to discuss that year's entries for the Barbara Dex Awards.
And welcome to another edition of How Not What to Look Like.
So for today's tier list, I'm using the same board, the same rules and everything. I don't want to bog this video down with a bunch of rehashing from the last one. So if you're interested in everything, go ahead and watch that one first. But if you want to have just a really quick recap, here it is. I'm here to discuss styling, clothing, hair, makeup, things like that. I'm not here to judge bodies. I'm not here to judge facial structure. It's not about the person wearing it as much as it is what does it look like on them? Is it appropriate for this event? Things like that. As far as the board goes, I'm going to send it over to other auntie to give you a quick recap of the tiers. Okay, so here we have the board and the tiers. At the top we have Eurovision. This is for entries that are the best of the best. If this award existed during this time period, I think that they would have won it. We've got I Like It But I Get It, which I mean, I like it but I get it. Undeserved/confusing means I just don't know why it's here in the first place. Deserved it/sabotage. This is for stuff that just deserves it. And sometimes I think there's sabotage involved. At the bottom, we have the real winner. Now, this is the one that gets a little interesting, I hope. Every year, I am going to pit the entries against each other and figure out which one I personally think is the worst for each year. At the end of doing all of these tier lists, I will then make another tier list and figure out which one is the worst of the worst of the worst. So stay tuned. That is our board. All right, so now that we have everything explained, let's get into it. By the way, if you can hear my air conditioning right now, I just want you to know that it is currently 103 degrees Fahrenheit outside, which is about 40 degrees Celsius approximately. So that's why. So the first of the tier list for today in 2006 is Iść Troja featuring Real McCoy representing Poland with the song Follow My Heart. They got 11th out of 23 in their semi-final. They just barely missed making it to the finals. Oh boy, okay, I made it early. The costumes for the national final were way better. Let's just start with this. Because they were really more toned down, which is funny because like everything is trimmed with gold and feathers and stuff. They're all in white, the ladies in dresses, male singers in suits. But Mr. Green Hair, and by the way, if I don't say people's names, it's because I'm not confident in being able to do so. And Polish names are a little bit tricky for me right now. I'm practicing, getting better at it. But for now, the three main people that I'll be discussing for this entry, I will be referring to as Mr. Green Hair, Rap Guy, and Lady Singer. So to avoid any confusion, there you go. So, Mr. Green Hair. He used to be Mr. Red Hair in the national finals. It was Fire Engine Red. Are fire engines red in Poland? Anyways, they still had the white, cheap-looking clip-in extensions, though. He kept that from the national final to the semifinals, and they look really bad. The extensions, the white, it looks really bad. I have had every hair color under the sun, I swear, like rainbow everything. And maybe they were limited to certain colors in Poland in 2006, but I'm sticking with his hair too much. It's just getting to me too much. The clothing from the semifinals was just more of a mishmash of still white and gold garments, but it was just much more classical and it made more sense. Green Hair was always in a kind of Victorian-looking suit, while everyone else went more modern with their looks. Honestly, for the semi-finals, I think that they just gave him creative control with the costuming and the staging because it just feels very him-coded if you go off of what he was wearing for the national finals, if that makes sense. Everything is just so white and gold and over the top. They're wearing gold masquerade masks, and it's visually loud. I think that's my issue. And here, Mr. Green Hair, for example, is wearing a military-style jacket with the shoulder tassels and gold cape. And the main lady singer is in a white and gold dress that is kind of vaguely Victorian and a white tasseled cape. Then she takes it off and there's this like crazy gold collar thing. I don't know, I'm not a professional in fashion history by any means, but it's kind of hard for me to place. So for some reason, I decided to do a bit more looking into this costume because it was really bothering me. And what she has got going on up here is what's known as a Medici collar, and variations of it have been worn by noble women, basically upper class, for it seems like past 500 years or so. So it's not necessarily Victorian, it's not necessarily Elizabethan or any other kind. It's just a dress. And let's be honest, it really doesn't matter. If you're making costumes for this purpose, you're not necessarily going to be sticking to something strictly historically accurate. You're just going to be putting together something that you think looks nice. I just happen to believe that it does not look nice. So, just kind of gaudy, you know. Mr. Ratman is hanging out in the crowd in his suit with gold embroidery, of course, and a white t-shirt underneath. Gotta say that the woman backing singer on the left over here wearing trousers and a white flowy top didn't really match the rest of the group's gimmick for me. At the end, Mr. Green Hair rips off our main lady's dress to reveal that she is in a white and gold embroidered ensemble and then announce her pregnancy to everyone. And I did check, because that's not something I'm just going to assume. He gets down on his knees and kind of kisses her tummy, and it's a very sweet moment. It has nothing to do with the song. It's kind of, I looked up the lyrics, it's just like a basic love song. It's not about parenting or having a baby, but I guess, you know, you have the opportunity, you're going to take it. So yeah, the entire thing was just, like I said, very visually loud. But yeah, anyways, you know, congrats to them, of course. Congratulations. Congrats to them. I hope that mother and child, who is now, at this point, good lord, like 19 years old. Oh, I swear I take hit points every time I realize how old I am. I hope that they're doing well, and, well, let's go to the board and see how we feel about this. Okay, so what is the final verdict for Ishtroya? It's strange because there's definitely a theme with the fabric and the coloring of the costumes, but there's also a lack of cohesion, and I think it's to do with the hair and the costuming just having strange choices. I don't know. I think it deserves it. I'm gonna stop trying to justify it and just admit that I don't like it. So, sorry. Next. So just in case you're wondering why I had a drink pre-made, it's a Pepsi Zero and rum, by the way. It's because I already filmed this video. I filmed the next 5 years of this stuff, and my my video was unusable. My autofocus was terrible, and for some reason I didn't notice it when I was filming. So I'm redoing all of this for the second time, and I already know just how rough it gets, so on to the next one. So in fourth place for the Barbara Dex Awards in 2006, we have Jennifer Serrano representing Andorra with the song Sense It Too. And she got last in her semifinal. She got the bottom. Oh, Andorra, please come back. Please come back, honey. We miss you, Andorra. We love you. Come back. But Jennifer, honey, this staging was a mess. It's like what an incel thinks teenage girls do at sleepovers, like just hanging out in full lingerie, stockings, garters. Like this is the kind of stuff that a lot of women will only wear like on their wedding night. It's not something that we just wear. So I don't know, from the look of the dancers and from Jennifer in her satiny kind of looks like a nightgown dress with her lace robe, you might think this song was like maybe about seduction or something along those lines, right? But it's not. Jennifer here's talking about how difficult her life will likely be without her current lover. But she knows she needs to leave him. So that's it. That's what the song is about. If you're gonna go sexy, make it make sense. I'm just not sure why we have sexy dancers on chairs. Just make it make sense. That's all I want. If you're going sexy, make it make sense. As far as Jennifer's costume goes, it's really lacking for me. I don't know. If she's going for like an old Hollywood drama or something, it's just not dramatic enough. There needs to be more. I don't know, maybe it was a budget thing, but a bigger robe with really long sleeves, feathers, maybe lace, a satin nightgown or a dress that's actually fitted nicely to her body. Like, what is this length? I hate the placement of the brooch. It looks like it's actually holding the robe together. Maybe that is the point. I don't know. But like, her hair isn't done in a way that screams elegance. Her makeup is meh. Dancers' costumes, if we're talking about how they actually look, they're okay. The corsets aren't boned, but they are lingerie, and I just have to get used to no one ever giving a shit about boning anymore.
Phrasing?
I think Andorra did Jennifer dirty here, honestly. I have a vision in my mind of what she could have looked like, what these dancers could have looked like. It could have been gorgeous, and here they just made her look frumpy, and I don't like that for her. You deserve better, girl. So, final verdict on Jennifer. Where are we putting you? It's not the worst offender, by far, but it's still not good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say you deserved it too. Sorry.
Next.
And we can't forget, we are keeping track of where everyone actually placed in the contest as well. So, East Troya got 11 out of 23 in their semifinal. Non-qualifier. Poor Jennifer here, 23 out of 23 in the semifinal. Also non-qualifier. So far, it still tracks. Poor costuming often leads to poor results. Or contributes to them, at least. All right, here we are. Third place in the Barbara Dex Awards in 2006, representing Iceland, is Sylvia Knight with the song Congratulations.
Congratulations, I have arrived. I'm Sylvia Knight and I'm shining so bright.
She got 13th of 23 in the semifinal, did not qualify, and that is absolute robbery, if you ask me.
It's a tragedy. It's like, what are we even doing? And like, why? And like, don't.
Now, the first time that I watched this, I had COVID. I had no research on any of this. I had no idea who Sylvia Knight was. And I was very confused. I did not like it. And I was like, what the hell am I watching?
So congratulations. Oh my God, it's the
But now that I have watched it, it's like, okay, well, I get that she's playing a fictional character. It's also 20 years later, and I've never watched her do her thing outside of this, and I'm also not Icelandic, so I'm really not going to get all of the humor and the satire here. But I do appreciate it. I appreciate what she's bringing. The song itself is not great. Kind of the point as well, I think. It's definitely not one of my favorite songs, but Sylvia, probably one of my favorite Eurovision performers ever, not gonna lie. So I've watched this performance like at least half a dozen times, along with the music video, which, by the way, I think had better costuming for the most part than what she wore in the semifinals. I do have to mention something though, like Grace, you really hated her, didn't you? Like, did you just either not understand what she was doing, which is possible, or did you just not appreciate that she was bringing that kind of satire to the stage of Eurovision? Was it both? Were you like playing along and booing her because you knew that's what she wanted you to do? Like this feels very interesting. I don't know. Was there a lot of alcohol involved? It was it was wild. I mean, I can tell you if it happened today, the anti-bullying technology would be in full force, and I still think that we would have heard it because that was loud. That was very, very loud. Anyways, back to the clothes. It's hard to stay on topic with this entry, sorry. I think the music video was about being quirky and glam and Lady Gaga-esque. Gaga-esque? But the live performance, it treated her more like a showgirl, which is fine, you know. I think the majority of performances live are different from what they do in the music video, unless the music video is just their live performance. But I felt a little underwhelmed with what she was wearing. Her hair and her makeup and headdress were all great. Love that part. Very glittery, very sparkly and over the top. The pink and the white dress that she has on in the beginning is pretty cute, floofy, with little pink waist cincher belt. Matches her headdress colors very well, but then that's torn off and she's in this little blue and silver bodysuit. And I'm not sure why they went with blue. It's not really anywhere else in the staging. If it was just one other place in the staging, I might be able to pull it together, but it's not. And maybe they wanted it to pop, but I don't know if I would have picked that blue. I don't know. I need to know, however, what is going on with these luchador dancers? Am I missing something? Is this something from her show? Does she usually have luchadors around? And they commit the biggest sin that a luchador can do because they remove their masks.
What the f*** are you bull?
And much less of a sin for a luchador when they remove their pants. That actually happens quite often. They have roughly white tops with white and black tassels. And yeah, I'm not sure what the theming there is. I don't dislike it. I'm just not sure what's going on. Okay, since we're talking about wrestling here, I just gotta say, she would have and may possibly still make an amazing heel manager. Like, she could be the next Vicky Guerrero.
Excuse me!
She did not break character. She did not break kayfabe at all. When she didn't qualify, she threw a fit.
Ungrateful bastard! You vote some ugly people from Finland that don't even have a real makeup artist, and you don't vote me because I'm not a slut from Holland, and I'm not a ugly fucking old bitch from Sweden, and
She was calling people names, throwing shit. She had a full meltdown. She stayed in character. She is perfect for that industry, I swear. I don't know. Maybe consider it. Just saying. I'm gonna be really excited if I look into this more and find out that she's actually done that. Good for you, Sylvia. Oh man, is that too much wrestling talk for one Eurovision video?
Yes! Yes!
Maybe. Okay, so where does Sylvia go? Well, I definitely don't think that she deserved it. I think that her costume, while it had a few things that I wasn't crazy about, like the color of her bodysuit and the luchadors removing their masks.
You will fail, you idiots!
So I can't really say it's Eurovision. Did I like it enough for this one? You know, I think I did. I like it, but I understand why other people struggled with this entry. I do. I think that it has aged really well, and I think a lot of people really have a lot of appreciation for it now, especially now that more people know that Sylvia is a character. I think that she really did a good job of portraying a spoiled starlet that is way too full of herself in a really, really accurate way, so...
I'm the best thing that has happened to this fucking competition from the beginning. So, I should have hoorays and salutes.
I like it, but I get it, so... There you go, Sylv.
I really wasn't surprised that Iceland didn't get there because I think the whole act that she was doing and the whole crew was doing, I think it went a little bit too far.
All right, second place for the Barberdex Awards in 2006 was Lordi representing Finland with the song Hard Rock Hallelujah. Yes, we got something really great. We got two really fun ones to talk about in a single video. This is great. So I really hope that y'all were voting for this because it was unique and crazy and not because you thought it was terrible, because if it's the latter, then I don't even know what to say. This is just perfection. The entire band has their own individual monster costumes, singing about being holy warriors. Like, I'm not even religious, but even I can appreciate the juxtaposition of this. I think my favorite part of this whole thing is that the singer, Mr. Lordy, is their costume designer. So he created all of these looks, and that is dedication to the act. And on top of that, he was sick during the final. He was up there with a fever, and if you listen to the studio recording of it, you can kind of tell there's a difference in his voice. He sounds kind of sick. Did a great job still, but it sounds like it hurts to sing. He was up there, sick as hell, had to perform twice because they won, had to keep his costume on probably longer than he wanted to because all of the after parties and interviews and everything that comes after winning. Again, amazing dedication to the craft. So we're going to talk about each of the band members really quick. Mr. Lordy is in his makeup with the black and the spikes and the elements of body armor. He's also in very, very platform boots. That's like a foot of platform. The keyboarder kind of looks like a mummy. The guitar player looks like a zombie. Bassist and drummer kind of look like demonic orcs. If I tried to fully explain all of these costumes, we'd be here all day. But these wings on Mr. Lordy, when they start to extend and the sparks fly from the instruments and from his giant axe, like the whole thing, just, it comes together so perfectly in just this amazing climax to the show.
Phrasing.
And it is just so good. I have zero negative notes. This is absolute Eurovision perfection. So, final verdict on Lordy. This one is pretty easy. I think Lordy is one of the best, if not the best, I think in contention for the best costuming in Eurovision history. So they definitely deserve to be up here. And so here it is. Here we are. The reason why I knew I needed to make myself a drink before I started all of this today. The first place in the Barbadex Awards for 2006, representing Portugal, is Non-Stop with the song Coixas de Nada, and just look at this.
Gonna make you dance, gonna make you smile, make you stop thinking sad things for a while. Everything waits when you dance in your style.
They got 19th out of 23 in the semifinal, and this is just, I mean, we're back to just crushing disappointment.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I'm not sure which is worse, the national final or the semi-final looks that they were given. At the national finals, they looked like they were wearing like mummy costumes with sparkly mini skirts. They looked as dated as the song sounds, but then we get to the semi-finals and oh my god, look at it. I mean, it's like someone got a cheap 4-pack of bodysuits off of Temu and then locked themselves into a windowless room with a box of crafting supplies from the 1970s and a bottle of ether. It's like a bunch of sorority sisters wanted to dress up for a fancy dress party as Lady Marmalade. And if that were the case, I would say they looked fine, but this is Eurovision. What is this, Portugal?
Fucking embarrassing!
We've got a fur cap, a tiara, a fascinator, and a toupee. Like, that can't be her real hair, can it? Like, it looks detached. I feel so bad for these ladies because these are hateful costumes. They are hateful.
Oh, what a hateful clog.
And the only thing that I can say anything nice about is their shoes, and they're just okay. Quote from my husband is that it's like they're 4 Sims that were randomly thrown together from your CC catalog. And yeah, I'd say that's pretty much correct. Those poor gals. So, nonstop. Where on earth am I going to put you? Is there really any question? This is embarrassing, Portugal.
Fucking embarrassing!
This is embarrassing.
It's fucking embarrassing!
And I'm glad that you've upped your game. I'm glad that you've learned from this. Because this,
Well, that's embarrassing.
bottom barrel. In fact, I don't really even have to think too hard about who is the real winner for this year. I don't. Because it is very, very easily Coixas Donata by Nonstop. And like I said, I feel terrible for these gals. I do. They did their best. They sounded okay. They performed fine. But this is bad. And I'm honestly not sure how Jennifer got lower than these gals, but either way, not good. Real winner right here. And I think they're going to do really good in the final battle. I really do, because I've said it all already. This is hateful.
Hateful.
This is garbage. Sorry, not sorry.
Next.
Hey, so do you remember how I said, Kristen, you need to remember to keep track of where each contestant placed in the contest as well as in the Barbadex Awards so we can analyze that? Yeah, I didn't either. So I got all the way through editing before I realized, oh, neglected to put that in there. So I'm back and let's talk about it. So far, 2006 is looking exactly like my last video, where the lower things are on my subjective taste list tend to represent where they place in the contest. Sylvia being a bit of an outlier here, but she's in I Like It But I Get It, so it kind of fits if you ask me. But the three down here, they didn't qualify either. So we have Nonstop, 19 out of 23, did not qualify. Ish Troya, 11 out of 23, did not qualify. We have Jennifer Serrano, 23 out of 23, last place in the semifinal, did not qualify. Then we have Sylvia up here, 13 of 23, did not qualify. The only contestant that was in the Barbadex Awards this year that got Eurovision also won the competition overall. So what does that say? I guess it says that costuming is actually pretty important when it comes to this. It's one of the pillars of what makes a good Eurovision entry. You don't just need a good band or artist or singer. You don't just need a good song. You don't just need good staging. You also need good, competent costuming. People who have the ability to put things together that look nice. People who have good taste. And it doesn't have to be expensive necessarily, as long as it fits them properly, fits the theming, and just looks nice. So I think this needs to kind of be a wake-up call for some countries that you need to put the effort in. Because even if there's a decent song, if people are hearing it and seeing it for the first time ever when they're watching the semifinals or even the finals, which happens a lot, that's your first impression, man. You got to do better than that. So it makes sense. If you have crap costumes, you're probably not going to do very well. So I guess some people have a lesson to learn. Well, that's all that I have for you today, my friends. What did you think? Do you think that I was too hard on Nonstop? Do you think that someone else deserved this? Do you think that Sylvia might have deserved better or worse than what I gave her? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I will be back with the year 2007 pretty soon, and we'll discuss all of the weird crap that happened that year too. So stay tuned. Until then, get off of social media as much as you can. I know I'm saying that on YouTube, but seriously, do your best, my friends. It's rough out there right now for a lot of people. Remember, Auntie's here. Auntie's obsessed with Eurovision, so I'm going to do my best to get you through that post-Eurovision depression. I'll see you soon, and don't forget, I love you, Europe. Thank you for loving me.